Yo, guys, you're listening to 4-3. My name's Rahul. I got two guys with me. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm James.
I'm Sridhar.
And today we're continuing our little start to the NBA season, 2020-2021. Yesterday we did the Eastern Conference over-under and gave our thoughts on, the off-season, what we're going to predict for the season. And now we're going to do the Western Conference. So we're just going to jump right into it immediately. So same style as yesterday with the over-unders. And we'll give some background on what that means in terms of an 82-game season since it's going to be 72 games. So we'll go with the first team, Lakers. So I'll let Sridhar go with these numbers since he's the math guy here.
Okay, I made a spreadsheet. I didn't know that made me a math. Okay, but all right. So Lakers are supposed to be they're over-under set to 46.5. So if you're looking at it from an 82-game season, that's about like 53 wins. So we'll say like 52 and a half or something. So I'm gonna take the under on this.
Oh,
Whoa there.
The reason is
that's kind of spicy.
So it's gonna be like a slight under. So if it's 46 and a half, I think they'll get like 46 or 45 wins. Because the Lakers can just go on cruise control and they'll be fine.
Cruise
right?
control?
Like I don't expect it. Like I can see them. They're like the number 3 seed. Yeah, they can go cruise control. They'll get like 50.
Are you
get LeBron and AD? You're gonna get like 50.
Are you saying cruise control or cruise control? Like, are they just gonna go with like Kuzma the whole time? They're just gonna make him the superstar.
Oh boy, that took a little bit to get there, but
I mean, I get what you're saying, but
I mean that's one option. Or they get like Montrez to like I'm sure AD's gonna take games off. They got Montrez, right? They'll go.
They got Schroeder too. I mean, they
Like,
loaded up.
At this point, I don't like. At this point, I don't think they're gonna care all that much. They'll just be like, okay, we're just gonna get through the regular season. If we get a top 4 seed, we're good. Like, because when we go through the rest of the Western Conference, I don't see a team like the Lakers aren't a tier of themselves in the Western Conference, in my mind.
I just think they got so much better from last year in terms of their depth and their bench. Like now it's off the floor, like they're competent, and I don't think. I mean, okay, I guess the argument is that, like, okay, LeBron, AD, et cetera, played really deep into the postseason, obviously, because they won. So the turnaround is so short that they're just, like, going to rest them at the beginning and they'll lose games that they should be winning. I guess that's the argument. But, like, I really don't think they're going to rest that much. So I'm going over.
I mean,
I'm going over. I think they loaded up. I think they got better this past offseason, so it's just like
yeah.
I don't think they could be under from what they did.
So they definitely got better than last year, roster-wise. But at the same time, LeBron and AD were playing a lot more last year than I expect them to play this year. That's just my logic. I don't expect them to play as much because, like, there are like a lot of like home and homes and back-to-backs that are going to be involved in the schedule. A lot based on the because of the COVID situation. So I would assume that like at the second half of a back-to-back, like one of those two guys is going to get rest.
I mean, I don't know,
just
man.
Because it's like I mean, I'm sure like because LeBron's what year 18 now in the league.
I believe so.
Something like that. Year 18. I'm pretty sure. Like even though he's like not human, I'm pretty sure he's still gonna get rest. AD he still gets like injury bug. Like he'll miss like a handful of games anyway.
Yeah.
And sure, that's gonna matter.
Yeah.
But
right.
Like this roster is like so good compared to like what LeBron's worked with in the past, even last year. Like last year was one of the best LeBron rosters like in ages. Like I just can't imagine them losing that many games. Like I think they're just like I think they'll win over 50 games, like over 72. So that's why I go over. But
yeah.
The rookie looks.
Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's fine.
What's the new?
Oh, like the talent.
He's not a rookie.
Yeah.
Horton Tucker's not a rookie.
I thought he was a rookie.
Yeah.
What is?
No, he got drafted last year, man.
Oh,
Close enough. Young guy.
see, like, why is he
second-
getting? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're
Yeah,
rough.
see, NBA draft, 2019, round 2, 46 pick, man.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean
Yo, he went to Sigma.
they upgraded like nearly everywhere. Like Harrell's an upgrade, Wes Matthews is an upgrade, Schroeder's an upgrade, Gasol's an upgrade.
I don't know if this all's an upgrade.
Yeah, no, I don't like Gasol.
He's old for sure, and he plays a little old, but smart. He's smart. I mean,
He is, but I mean, like,
well, he also gives you another 3-point shooter because no backup big last year for the Lakers was a shooter. It was just AD. And I would probably argue that Gasol is probably a better 3-point shooter than AD. So I like the fit with Gasol.
I mean, like overall, it's a very good team. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying like I feel like they're gonna coast in the regular season and then just destroy everyone in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I just think it's hard to do that. Like, it's hard to coast and like I guess the way I'm thinking about it is if their over/under is, effectively what translates to 53 games in a regular season, I don't think it's easy to coast enough to win like 50 games and then be expected to be like this dominant team in the playoffs. That's like kind of fair.
I mean, see the Cavaliers LeBron team.
Sure.
Like that's what they did. They coasted the regular season, got to the playoffs, and still got to the finals.
Was this 2018?
Yeah,
But that roster was so bad.
they still coasted.
Yeah.
but
I guess we'll
You can argue like the Warriors, like when they had KD, like the second year they had KD, you could argue they coasted as well.
Yeah. But like they still won a lot of games.
I mean, yeah, but that's also because they had like, I mean,
That's my thing.
they didn't have the situation of they finished playing 2 months. They finished playing the season 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And then they're
Well,
coming.
I just feel like if they go 50-22, like that's coasting to me.
Yeah, 50 and
Going
22.
over. But
I
like
mean,
fair. We'll see.
maybe
yeah,
50 and 22 is like, I maybe. I mean, I'm just gonna go for the hot take and just go under, just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're basically predicting, those guys are going to rest at the top, and then it's going to be tough to win some games.
Yeah.
They'll hit their stride later in the year. That's fair. I mean, I'm not going to say it's wrong.
I could definitely see it happening, but I just think they had loaded up too much.
Yeah, I like them. I think they're the best team in the league, but I mean, well, that's not a hot take.
I mean, they're the best team in the league. I'm not gonna dispute that,
Yeah, for sure.
but they're not gonna get the most wins.
No,
I think they're going to get both.
That's fine.
But we'll
Like, I mean, the next team is the Clippers. I also don't see that. Like, I think they'll get. I think their win total is supposed to be their over-unders at 45.5, and I can see them going over. And again, like yesterday, or not like I guess yesterday, like when I say over/under, like it could just be instead of getting 45 wins, it'll be 46 wins, and that's over.
Yeah.
So slight over for me, and for them, like that's like a 52-win pace. And I think for them, it's more like they just need to make sure that they can play coherent basketball.
true.
you trust Ty Lue as the coach?
I mean, he did win a championship with LeBron, right? LeBron listened to him.
That's true, but I mean, LeBron also elevated his game in the playoffs, unlike some people who shoot off the side of the backboard.
Paul
Okay.
George.
Paul George only elevates in the strip club.
True.
I mean, as far as I know, Paul George, I never heard of Paul George like going to the strip club like that. I mean, like we've seen Kawhi do that, but I don't know about Paul George.
I heard Paul George used to do that. Maybe those were the Indiana days when he was a young guy.
Yeah, but I mean, Kawhi, this was like last year, right? He went to Atlanta.
Yeah, I thought Paul George used to go to the Pawnee strip club.
The Pawnee Strip Club?
Yeah. Parks and Rec, man.
God damn. You had to show up for labor, right?
Well, we know Lou Williams is going to the strip club too, but only for the wings.
yeah.
Look, man,
Only for those wings.
I don't know why you're hating so much. Okay, all I'm saying is, at strip clubs in Atlanta, you also have fine dining establishments there. Also a thing. This is true.
I know when I was touring Georgia Tech for PhD programs, they basically made us walk by a bunch of strip clubs, and they were like, oh, there's this place, there's this place, there's that place.
Yo, so I mean, so the one that's closest to campus is Cheetah Club, and they have the Alluvia, Alluvia place to eat, right?
Oh yeah.
And so
Well,
there, apparently it's like a 5-star place to eat. I'm not lying. Like, this is a thing.
Look, all I'm saying is, if you're sell to move to places, there are strip clubs with good food. I'm gonna pass. I mean, well, I don't know. We'll see. So, I'm reading here that Nick Batum is on the Clippers.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
So did he sign a vet min deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how
I
that
don't know what he's gonna do there.
I don't think he's gonna do anything. I think he's washed.
I don't think it matters.
They signed Marcus Morris to a big contract too, right?
See that I didn't care for because I'm
Did
like
they, or was
I
that
like Marcus Morris. No, the Clippers signed Marcus Morris to a big contract. I think Markieff got vet min. I think,
Yeah.
but
the Baca signing is big.
They got it.
I like the Ibaka signing for them. I think he'll fit well there.
It's an upgrade for Harrell, in my opinion, by a lot.
Yeah.
The bigger issue is that they just need to make sure that they can actually get good guard play in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, well, they don't have a real point guard.
So, Lou Williams is good, but his shtick is not going to work in the playoffs. It hasn't worked in the playoffs.
Well, that's the thing.
So they have to hope that
if you were watching those games at the end against Denver, it was like Kawhi dribbling the ball and initiating the offense, and just that's tiring if that's not your game. He's not a James Harden. He's not a point guard or a ball hog or whatever you would call it. James Harden.
He's not. He shouldn't be your lead ball handler. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's just not his style. I mean, he's a great scorer, great footwork, great mid-range game, but that's not.
No.
But he's not the one who has to bring up he's not supposed to bring up the ball up the court and then initiate the offense.
Yeah, they don't have a natural point guard. I mean, we got the cops going off in Austin over here. Yeah, I mean, Lou Williams is also really a scoring guard. Reggie Jackson's a scoring guard. Pat Bev,
you don't he's not really an initiator like that.
Yeah, I mean, Pat Bev is basically someone who should be a small forward, but is only 6'1".
And then Luke Kennard. I guess Luke Kennard is the guy they're hoping will do that. But I mean, Luke Kennard's not the kind of guy who's I'm really excited to get him.
No.
Well, let's see. I mean, maybe they can make a trade or something to get a guy who'll play guard. I mean, they don't need a great guard. I mean, I think even if they got Rondo, it would have been big for them in the playoffs. But I don't know why Rondo.
I mean, if they had Rondo, it'd be just having Rondo in of itself because he can actually initiate an offense.
Yeah,
I think. Fine.
I think he should. Yeah.
I mean, let's see. I mean, maybe I don't think Atlanta would trade him, but maybe.
But if you think about it, in Kawhi's career, he's always up until last year, he's always had a guard who's able to initiate the offense. At least one guard who could initiate an offense, right? When he was in San Antonio, he had Manu and he had Tony Parker. And when he was in Toronto, he had Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing about Paul George for the most part. I mean, he had George Hill, he had Westbrook. I don't know who else he had in those intermediate years, but that's pretty good.
So it's
that's their biggest problem. I mean, I think the Baca signing is big because your closing lineup, I guess, is you have Kawhi, George, Ibaka, and Morris, and then you have to pick a guard, and that's the
I guess I'm assuming because the other four guys can play D, you just go with Kennard and just hope for the best because Kennard can shoot. He can play all the best out of all their options, but.
Yeah, but you gotta get someone to play on ball because all those other guys are really off-ball players, maybe except Marcus Morris. I don't know.
I guess they would have to do it by committee or something. I don't know.
They'd have to.
No, I think of it as Kennard is the best at out of their guard options. He's the best that can play off ball while being able to play on ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like Lou Williams should not be like off ball. We'll put it that way.
maybe Batum is the answer here. He has some guard skills.
Okay, if he's not,
If he's not washed, maybe he's your point guard.
I mean, he's washed, man.
Who knows? I mean, he's only like 30 something, 31, 32.
Okay, what was the last time you can think of Nick Batum being good?
Portland.
2018, 2017.
I mean, James out here saying Portland, man.
His Portland
Oh,
days.
he was good the first year in Charlotte.
That was like 2016, 17.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that long ago.
That's like that was 4 years ago, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I think they're definitely I think they'll have a tough time competing with the Lakers. And I think they'll win games. They'll probably be second in the West, but I don't think it's going to work out for them in the playoffs if they don't get a point guard.
No.
So are you taking the over on the wins, but under on the playoffs?
I might actually go under because I think they'll keep doing load management with Kawhi, and then that'll be tough for them to win a lot of games, especially with like the condensed.
You don't think Paul George can carry him?
What?
You don't think Paul George can carry him?
I mean, I think Paul George will have a better season than last year. I think he'll be a lot better, but I don't think he'll be able to carry this team.
No.
They're a good team, though. I'm not trying to say they're not, but I think their key selling point is that they have like 2 top 15 players with, Paul George is healthy and playing good.
Whereas the Lakers have like what 2 of the top 4 players.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think their depth is a little bit better, though. It's not like the Clippers have some good guys too. So
but
I'll go under. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm only gonna just take the over just because I think they're gonna be a good regular season team, but then, like you said,
Fair point.
they're gonna fizzle out in the playoffs.
all right. Next, we're gonna go with the Denver Nuggets, the team that actually beat the Clippers last year.
Yeah, they're coming up to me. I mean,
I think they could be a very fun team in the West.
I mean,
They already are, but like, I think I'm gonna go with the over because I really want to see like what Michael Porter Jr. is gonna do.
I'm taking the over as well because over the past couple of years, they've also been like exceeding their win expectations to begin with. On top of that, like they're really good. Like they have a really good crunch time offense, and like if you do a Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic pick and roll, like either big or small version of that, like that's pretty much guaranteed offense.
yeah,
You're gonna get a shot every time.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. So who's new on their team? I'm trying to think. So they lost.
They lost Jeremy Grant.
Yeah,
but that means that Michael Porter Jr. is gonna play more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
They
the more
got
dynamic
Plum
player.
anymore, but like I don't think that really is a big deal.
Was JaMychal Green on their team last year?
No, Jermichael
No.
Clippers last year, so they replaced Jeremy Grant with JaMychal Green.
Yeah, I mean that's not a great replacement, but I guess like you're saying, it's the like more playing time for Porter Jr. Bull maybe will start to play. Maybe he's pretty good.
Maybe I don't know.
I mean, I like Bol. I think he'll be interesting, but I don't know if he's gonna like make or break. But like, I definitely would be curious to see what he's
Yeah.
gonna look like.
If Gary Harris is healthy the whole year,
Oh yeah.
that's a big thing. I mean, they have.
If you have Gary Harris and Will Barton, right?
Yeah, you have both of them. So that's they have good like wing depth. They're good.
They have. I'm curious also to see.
I don't know who their backup. I don't know who their backup guard is going to be. Like, who's going to be their backup point guard?
Is it Monte Morris? Monte Morris is a good backup guard.
Well, there you go. I like them. I like them a lot.
They have a good group, and they'll be very interesting to
They
watch.
still have KG vet Paul Millsap, right? Millsap.
Yeah.
Yeah, Millsap.
Yeah, they got Millsap back. Like they just have a bunch of they have a bunch of fun they have a lot of young guys that could have a lot of high upside too.
Yeah, I mean, like if they're like, oh, we see Cleveland's here, we're just gonna start Bull. We're gonna get we'll go Bull, RJ Hampton. Let's go.
And they got the dude from Marquette, Marcus Howard. I just remember him from Marquette as just being like,
Dude's a bucket.
Dude was a literal walking bucket. So like, I'll be curious to see what he does at the NBA level. But like, mean, I don't expect him to do too much, but like you remember him from Marquez. Like he was literally the only person on the highlights.
Yeah, I'm going over.
Pound the over.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're better than the Clippers too. Like, I think if they met again in the playoffs, I think they win. That's
Yeah,
all.
I could see them getting the 2 seed.
Yeah. I think they'll be the second best team, and I think they'll be in the Western Conference Finals. That's my take on it.
That's fair.
Jokic, man. Jokic is modern day Larry Bird too.
And he's like slimmed down too.
Well, I don't even care if he slims down. He's just so good.
Well, now he's like not going to be out of breath running up the court.
He's the best center in the NBA.
I
That's
can
even
see
a hot
that.
take. Who's better?
What? Between
Who's
Denver and
No, who's a better center than Jokic?
I mean, I'm a pseudo Embiid stan.
Well, I mean, if I double team
Like,
Jokic,
if
Jokic,
Embiid is like
fine.
actually fit, Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, so Embiid has a defensive upside, right? But like, I just feel like Embiid, like every time he gets doubled, it's just like a turnover or like a bumble of a play. And I feel like Jokic is just like if you double him, you're like really like it's good for Denver because he's such a good passer and he makes quick decisions, everything. He's a great shooter too. Everything. I don't know. I just think he's the best center in the league.
You could go maybe Rudy Gobert.
No, he's garbage.
Okay.
He's a COVID cesspool. He's a COVID cesspool of garbage. That's what he is.
All right. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Hot take.
All right.
No, he's not garbage. I'm just,
Would you say Anthony Davis is a center?
Well,
I feel like he's more of a power forward. I've never seen. I really he doesn't seem like he's too.
He qualifies as center as
Into
far as
the
I
whole
know.
thing.
So.
yeah, I mean, if he's a center, he's the
know, he
best
just
center
feels
in
like
the league, but he's. I don't know. I see him more as a power forward, but
Yeah.
I mean, if I
I'm
guess
assuming
you're saying who's the best big man in the league, the best big man is Anthony Davis. That like includes 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
But if we're just including centers, I feel like it's all stupid. Positions are stupid anyway. But I'm just saying,
Positionless
I think he's better
basketball.
than like Embiid or like Gobert or these other guys.
Yeah.
What about Bam Adebayo?
Ooh.
He's up and coming. I don't think I wouldn't.
I think Jokic is still better, just offensively. He's a lot better, but
Defensively, though.
yeah, defensively, Bam is probably the most versatile of all the centers, of the guys who play center. Like, I think he has AD style versatility and is a little stronger. So, yeah, Bam Adebayo is coming out here, and I think he's going to be, a perennial all-star. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, I'm just saying that I think Jokic gets slightly underrated in these conversations because he's not necessarily as flashy or he doesn't seem as athletic, but he's good.
I'll put it this way: if you're making All NBA teams, he's an All NBA team player. So he's gonna be one of the 3 best centers in the league.
That's fair.
My thing is like I would put him on the first team like every year.
I mean, based on last year, I think that you had to do that. But
Yeah.
Going into this year, I'm not sure.
I mean, let's see.
Because I figure Bam is going to get better. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it depends how much of a leap he takes. But who knows? Maybe Jokic will get better too. Jokic is still young.
I mean, Jokic on defense? I don't know. I don't know.
You don't like it when he just fouls people and then yells at the ref?
Yeah, I don't like it. I feel like that's not a good idea. I don't know about you.
Yeah, he'll like foul people on purpose and then like raise his hand.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah,
and, like just look at the ref and be like,
There's a lot of frustration
Pretty
fouls that go on for Jokic. I don't think that's a good idea.
yeah. Well, whatever.
There's like, I'll just live with it. It's fine.
It's for the love of the game.
He's modern day
Right.
Larry Bird, man. That's all I'm saying.
Modern day Larry Bird is
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic,
Yeah,
not Luka Doncic, who's on the next team, the Dallas Mavericks.
I think Doncic is more of a point guard. Like I think Bird like really played a little bit more like a 4, which Jokic kind of plays like. But like if Bird was in today's game, he'd be a 4/5. That's what I think. He averaged 10 rebounds a game, man, in the 80s. You know, but I mean, like, sure, you know,
I guess, but
Doncic gets a lot of rebounds.
they'd also have him like run the offense at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Right? He'd be running-
yeah, but Larry Bird wasn't bringing the ball up every time. Like that was DJ.
I mean, maybe in the modern game, Larry Bird is the one who's bringing up the ball.
I don't know. You don't know. You don't know how old players would play in today's game.
All we can say is that Larry Bird would be good in today's game. That's all I can say.
Right. I guess just like when I watch Jokic play, I'm like, this reminds me of Larry Bird. However, Larry Bird was forced to play in his era, you know, but a little bit of a remix.
I mean, yeah, okay, that's a good way of saying it.
Right.
Yeah.
Jokic is a good remix of Larry Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Larry Bird would necessarily play like Jokic today. If he played in today's league, I can't like make that prediction. But yeah.
Like that's a good way of putting it. Like Doncic and Jokic are like two different paths Larry Bird could have gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a perfect way of describing it. So yeah, Denver's good. That's basically the conclusion here. Who's
Next
next?
is Dallas. Next team is Dallas.
Dallas. Good segue.
They're at 42.5 wins, or like 48 win pace, or like 48.5 wins. If we were to do it like in an 82 game season, and I mean, if Porzingis was healthy for the entire year, which that's not going to happen, like it's
No.
easy over, right?
Yeah,
Right now he's like the torn meniscus, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
But
Apparently he's targeting January 1 for big man's return. Apparently is what the Mavericks are saying. But like even if he comes back January 1st, like he's not going to be like rushed to play games.
Yeah.
They're going to take him real slow.
yeah,
So it's real tough in my mind, but I think I'll still take the over because I expect Doncic to get better, even though he hasn't gone like full James Harden on us, James Hardy's actually, but you know, he's still gotten a little chunkier.
Yeah.
I think Doncic will be fine.
I think Doncic will be okay.
So again, like I think a slight over, they'll get like 40. They get like 43, 44 wins, and that's an over. So
How's Powell doing? Didn't he have a pretty significant injury?
yeah, Powell also tore. I think it's either an ACL or a meniscus.
Yeah, that's a tough injury. That's a big blow.
yeah.
I guess they're gonna have to play.
No, Achilles. He had an Achilles injury.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
He's young. I mean,
yeah.
they're gonna have to play.
That's not done. And he did rely on his athleticism, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess.
But they still have Kleba, right?
Yeah,
they still
they
have
have
Kleba, so I
Kleber.
think that's fine.
Yeah, he's a good shooter.
Plus, they added good shooting. And they added a good wing defender in Josh Richardson. They
Yeah.
added, they replaced Seth Curry with Tyrell Terry, so just a cheaper version of Seth Curry.
Mhm.
So overall, I think they're fine.
Was James Johnson on their team last year too?
James Johnson, no.
No, he was Miami, right?
He was Miami, then went to Minnesota, and then I think went to Memphis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know if he's that good anymore, but
No,
that's.
I don't think he is.
I mean-
unleash Boban. You know, let him
No, I mean
30
the
minutes.
point of James Johnson is like, yo, you gotta. He's gonna be like the Kendrick Perkins. He's just an enforcer dude who's on the team.
Yeah, he's on the.
If Doncic gets hit hard, James Johnson's gonna come in there. He's like, don't.
all
like,
NBA
like-
back alley team. James Johnson, first team.
true,
Yeah.
true.
I mean, they still have Tim Hardaway Jr., so that's not good for them.
No.
I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. is fine. Like he played fine for them last year.
All I know is when I watch him play, as soon as he catches it, he just shoots it, just like no hesitation. I mean, that's probably a good thing for some situations, but I'm also just like, dude, come on, man. Like, it's like a fast break. No one's under the basket. Like,
He also shot 40% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. So
let's see if he keeps it up. We'll
So
see.
overall, it wasn't like he was a bad shooter. Shoots 82% from the line.
It's not bad.
Like that's what you want if you're playing next to Doncic, right? You just want someone who can shoot 40% from three.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ideally, plays in defense. That's what you want.
I'll go over just because of Doncic. Like he's so
Yeah.
good that I think even though like I'm questionable on the rest of the roster with Porzingis potentially being out, he's just so good that like he'll probably
He can carry them no problem.
Yeah, so I'll give it to them over.
All right. So I just want to make it clear, James. I think you said over for the first 4 teams you put. Like at some point,
I
you
mean,
have to
I
give
like
someone
these
an under.
teams so far. I mean, there's nothing. I don't see anything where I'm just like, no, I don't like them. I mean, I don't see anything wrong yet with these people.
All right. Next team is Utah.
Oh,
Utah Jazz.
I mean, for the sake of making sure that there's some amount of like understanding that at the end of the day, the schedule has to be 500, right? Like teams have to go 500 combined.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the under on Utah. But again, I think Utah's a good team. It's like under. Like their over-under is supposed to be 42.5 wins, like the Dallas Mavericks. So I think they'd get like 47 wins if we were an 82-game season.
Yeah.
So it'd be an under.
I agree. I think they're gonna. I'm under too. I mean, they didn't really get better from last year in any like meaningful way, unless all of a sudden Conley is just way better. But I doubt that. I think he's gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Well, Conley was a lot better later in the season, right?
Yeah.
Their whole team got better later in the season. They started out terribly.
They got better. Then Bogdanovic got hurt.
Yeah.
They still were almost able to beat Denver. Like if that shot went in.
That's true.
Yeah, they're good.
Well, Donovan Mitchell is just a stud.
Donovan Mitchell is a stud.
He's a stud. You know, Bojan, Joe, Jordan Clarkson. You know, gave them some good minutes.
He was
a good player. Like
And the walking cesspool COVID. That dude's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Gobert's pretty good. The Favors, you know, I think here's my thing. I feel like Favors and Conley are like on a negative trend in their career, right? So I just feel like I think the other teams in the conference and in the league got like better. So I think it'll be tough for them to be much better than like last year.
Yeah.
But it's not like you need to have Conley or Favors to be like really important. Like Favors, you can have him play like 20 minutes a game. That's probably fine.
True.
Conley, you have him play like 30 minutes a game. That's fine.
Well, like I mean, how good is Bojan going to be? We'll see. I'm also the big question for me is, you know, is Rudy going to get traded? He's expiring.
That's
right?
true. And he's also said Rudy's also I think made it clear he wants max money too. He wants to get paid.
Right.
So
Right. So like that's the thing is like especially with like what's going on with like what the free agent class will be like next year, right?
yeah, if
Because
Rudy's
now
gonna be
Giannis is gone.
yeah, and if
Yeah.
Rudy's gonna be the guy of free agent class next year, it makes sense for him to be like, no, I'm gonna hold out.
Right. And so I mean, I guess in Utah's case, if they think the Gobert Mitchell relationship is good now, if you can get him to sign an extension that's not the supermax / like, you know, too much, you want to do it like now, right?
Exactly.
Like if you could get him for like 4 years, 100, like 10, 120 million, do you do it?
I'd say you do it because
So you're asking if you give him the Haber deal, would you give it to Rudy Gobert if you're Utah?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, about that. I would.
Yeah, no, I would.
I think that's what his worth is going to be because I think someone else would give him that contract. So if you can do it now,
No, I mean I'd be fine giving him the max.
I don't know, man.
No, the issue is that he's eligible for the super max.
Yeah, but he wants the
that's what-
super max though.
Yeah, like
So
Yeah.
if he wants a super max, no, you don't want to give him the super max. If he wants a regular max deal, fine. Right, have at it.
Yeah.
I don't know, like what's the most someone can offer him on another team. I don't know the numbers.
They probably could just give him a max deal if
What's
they
the
have the
max
cap
you
space.
get? Is it like
Like if Utah's like, we'll give you a 5-year max. Like if I'm Rudy Gobert, I'll just like that's a fair deal. I'll sign it.
Yeah, but yeah, he wants to get paid. So I
Because-
mean,
Yeah, because he's a center who's 28. He turns 29 in June.
Yeah.
So at the end of the year, he turns 29. So after that, he'll have 5 years. So 29 to 34. At the end of that contract, like he's getting paid, and he should like most likely will be on the decline.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably like you guys. I'll probably also go under just because I don't know. Like, I mean, I like what they have, but like, I also too like, I don't trust. Do I trust that? Like you said, Gobert, is he gonna be able to? Is he gonna Is he gonna be there the whole year? And then is Mike Conley and Derek Favors, are they gonna show age? Because I mean, like, I like Mitchell, but I don't think he's like someone like Luca that can just go ahead and carry a team, no problem.
Yeah, I mean he's more like a two guard, like I mean he is a two guard.
But yeah,
Mitchell's like 6'1", so
yeah,
He plays big, man.
I mean, sure, he plays big, but he's still like 6'1", right?
yeah.
Like the only guy who can really carry his team like that, who's in the NBA, like as of right now, is Chris Paul. And Chris Paul's like a bit too old for that.
Yeah, I mean
Like you don't really see small guys below like 6'3" carry teams like that.
yeah. To me, like the guys who are gonna carry your team, like almost irrespective of roster to some degree, are like Luka, Giannis, LeBron,
Harden.
or yeah, Harden. I mean, if he's happy.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, I guess my thing is let's see what happens with Gobert. I mean, if he's
I also misspoke. There's also another guard who can carry a team like that. He's on the next team that we're gonna talk about.
Oh,
I don't think he can, but we'll talk about
You don't
it.
think he can?
No, I don't think so.
Dang. All right.
Yeah. We'll see what Utah does. So next team is Portland.
Yeah. So they got essentially got first team All NBA guard in Dame Lillard.
Well, it's gonna be tough with Steph Curry coming back. That's
Okay.
all I'm gonna say.
Well, okay. So you think Dame Lillard's gonna like go down easy like that unless he gets hurt or something? I don't know.
yeah.
I still
So right now at 40-1.5 wins, which would be like 47 wins if there's an 82 game season.
Yeah. I'm going
I think
under. I'm going on. You're going over. I'm going under.
Okay. Why are you saying that?
Well, I watched them last year, and they weren't very good the whole year. I mean, they had injuries.
Yeah. I mean, they looked fine.
They also added airplane mode and they added Robert Covington.
And
So Robert Covington.
Harry Giles.
I mean, okay. I don't know what Harry Giles is gonna play, but okay, fine. But Robert Covington on this team, like if your lineup is what? If your lineup is McCollum, Lillard, Gary Trent, McCollum, or not McCollum, Covington, and Nurkic, it's a pretty solid lineup. That's a pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, fine. You get Cantor, you got Collins, you got whatever. But
They're going to
saying,
play Melo a lot more than they should.
yeah, but I'm saying like at that closing five of Nurkic, Covington, Lillard, McCollum, and Gary Trent, they're very solid closing five.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I just
And again, like going over could just mean they go 42 and 30, 34 or something.
Yeah, see, like that's why I also want to go over on it, but like I'm not like oh yeah, no, it's gonna be high over. Like I want to go back. I'm going back and forth with it, but I just like I like their roster a lot, and I think Rocco is gonna help a ton.
I think this is gonna remind me of like 2015, where if like you remember, it was like the difference between like the 3 and 6 seed. It was like the Clippers and the Spurs was one game or like half.
Yeah.
Like one game or something like that. I think a lot of these teams are going to be around the same point.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Vegas is saying, right? You know, they're
Like
basically
within like
like
a game or two of each other.
Yeah. So, I guess I'm the only one who says under. I guess I just don't trust Dame to be the guy, you know?
He's literally the perfect
He's literally
guy.
guy to trust.
He's literally the perfect example of the guy. Like the guy you want your players that you have on your team.
So, I mean,
Give me Dame time all day.
I mean, it's.
I just need to be convinced, man. I feel like I'm not convinced yet.
You're not convinced.
He got spanked by the Pelicans in 2018, which was I thought that was embarrassing. And then I think last year was not a good year. That was bad. Last year was bad.
They were also injured, man.
Yeah, they're very broken.
Is Nurkic going to make the difference?
Yes.
Is he that good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. I mean, I mean, yeah, I guess I just think they're going to be – I mean, I'm not, like, saying they're going to be bad. I'm just, like, I think they're going to be worse than the Jazz, Mavs, Nuggets.
Like you think they get like 41 or 40 wins, right?
Yeah, I'm saying like they're going to win, like, 40 or 41.
So
Yeah,
you
you
think 40?
Yeah, it's not like I'm saying they're going to be, like, at 30 games. I just,
I don't know, man. Just don't let Dame Lillard listen to this. He's gonna put out this track and just end you, man. You don't want to deal with that.
I mean, what's he going to say? My jump shot's broke? It's true. It's all good. I know. Yeah, I mean, let's see. I'm just going under.
Okay, all right. Okay, so the next one is the Phoenix Suns. They had one of the biggest off seasons, I guess, in the NBA. Well, not I guess they did. They added Chris Paul. Pretty sure that's a big deal,
That's a big
right?
deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
They didn't actually have to give up all that much to get him.
Well,
No, they really didn't.
because he's old.
So their over-under is projected at 38.5, and I think it's pretty easy. I think like if you have Chris Paul, like that's the equivalent of 44 wins in the 82-game season. I think that's a pretty easy over.
Yeah,
In my
I'm
mind.
going over. Not like a lot over, just because there's other good
Yeah.
teams in the conference, but like maybe like 39 or 40 games.
I'll go over. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, as the only team to go undefeated in the bubble,
true.
it looks like Devin Booker can play.
So
Ayton looks pretty good.
Booker's pretty good. Aiden's going to be there the whole season, hopefully. Crowder's a nice, I was saying it yesterday, Swift Army knife player. Like, he makes them very versatile in terms of who they can play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that.
So,
Like, Chris Paul.
Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges are also solid players on the team.
Yeah, you don't like ET1 anymore?
Yo, Each one's good.
ET1 is a
Etuan-
good backup guard. I mean,
He's a good source of offense.
They got the homie Dario Saric. So I mean, like it's like a pretty good team.
Yeah.
Chuck Diallo.
I don't know why you're just naming like really like people way down in the bench.
Yeah.
Abdel Nader.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Celtics legend Abdel Nader.
Mikal Bridges is pretty good.
They also have that guy from UVA. I forgot his name. Not Kyle Guy. The other guy from UVA.
Ooh.
UVA. On the Suns.
Yeah. Right.
They don't have anyone on UVA. I'm looking at their roster.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm misremembering him for someone else.
Oh, Westford. The guy Javon Carter.
No.
Grandpa Carter.
It's. Oh, he was there. I don't know. Man. Okay. We gotta play where they at though, because I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
I don't know where most players are.
No.
I thought this other guy was there. Ty Jerome. Ty Jerome is his name.
Oh yes. I remember him.
So
Was he there?
is their closing five going to be CP3?
Oh, he was part of the CP3 trade. My bad.
Oh no.
God.
So is their closing lineup going to be CP3, Booker, Crowder, Saric, and Aiden?
No, it's Ayton, Crowder, CP3, Booker, and one of Mikal Bridges or Cam Johnson.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get Booker. Booker can definitely close. He can score.
He can.
And on top of that, you still have Chris Paul. He can still run a show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you have enough talent there to like keep him relatively healthy. Like
Yeah.
kind of, he can be like in the same way where he was in OKC, where like he's not going to score. He's not going to be like doing 18 and 9. He'll be like 16 and 6, or like 15 and 6, and it's like.
I would be like 15. I would think like 15 and 8. I feel like because he's just gonna distribute more. Not
Exactly.
really have to score. Just let Booker score, but Ayton score. Like he's gonna have a very easy He's gonna have a nice 2-man game with DeAndre Ayton. That's my.
For sure. Absolutely. I think it's good for his career to be in this place, honestly.
Yeah.
So you can take the over, or are you still taking the under on them?
I'm taking over, but like really harsh, like very like slightly over.
So like 39 wins. Like I'm thinking like 40 wins. It's not like
the Blazers are better than them to me, even though I just like clearly was.
Yeah. I mean,
but
there's still a reason why they're like the 7th team in this list, right?
Yeah. But they're definitely making the playoffs.
So yeah. How about you, James? What are you thinking?
I take the no, like you said, I take the over.
All right, easy.
Easy money.
It
Okay,
is
the next one's
money.
Golden State Warriors.
This is
Oh.
a good one for betting. I
Great.
think.
This was over
Yeah.
under 36.5. So essentially like a 500 team.
Oh no, give me the over.
Okay, so James is immediately like over. I'm gonna take the under actually.
Wow, I'm taking over for sure. I want to hear the under justification.
Yeah.
Andrew Wiggins is not good at basketball.
Okay. We knew that.
But Kelly Oubre is pretty.
He is.
Okay,
They
like
got
having
a pretty
people on the
boy.
team doesn't make you good, right?
I mean, he became pretty good. I think.
Kelly Oubre is a nice high energy guy, and he does little things well.
All right. Well, so what's your rationale for under? It's just Andrew Wiggins.
It's not just I don't know, like based off of like seeing Steph play last year before he got hurt, they were really bad last year.
He played like
Like
hardly.
I mean, it was only 4 games, I get it, but they were getting destroyed.
Yeah, but like I think Oubre and Wiggins are better than who they had before. And they have Kent Bazemore. They have Wanamaker.
Yeah, and I want to see what Wiseman can do. I'm very intrigued by him because now
Yeah.
they finally have a legit center.
My view is more like how much better do you think that will make them? Like
Well,
they were like
it's like
terrible last year.
rotation players instead of like 5 bad rotation players.
Yeah, no, like these rotation players are actually decent now that they have.
I'm not saying they're going to be great.
No, but like I like their makeup better.
I guess, but the teams that are also there, it's like you got the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans will be like as good, if not better than them, just because like I think
my case is over. I'm just betting on Steph Curry basically. Like I think.
No, yeah,
that's not a bad bet. Like I'm not going to dispute that. Like I'm just saying, based off of last year getting absolutely smoked.
Yeah.
The only thing I could see them getting them really good is that they actually just got really healthy, but even then, like they don't like if they had Klay Thompson, it's easy over.
Yeah.
Like 40.5, 42.5 or something. They had Klay Thompson. Like
I think if they had Klay, they would be like 4 to 6 seed.
Yeah.
But without Klay, like I think it's like right now they're sitting at the 8 seed right now. And
oh no, I think they'll be a little higher.
I'll still think that's a bit tough for them because like
Pelicans
are still gonna be good. The Rockets, like if they have Harden, they'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. It depends what his attitude is. I mean, I guess I got to see how good Wiseman is. The tough thing, I guess, is they don't have much shooting really. Like if you look at it beyond Curry, and so I mean that's the way the league's going. So like I feel like Golden State has always represent like this team that just shoots a lot of threes, but like as time has gone on, they become. It's really just been like Steph and Klay. With Steph, Clay, KD, and then KD's gone, Clay's hurt. So really, and Draymond regressed, so like, I mean, I guess Wiggins can kind of shoot threes, but it's like, yeah, I don't really trust him that much.
No.
I guess my take is just, I think Curry will have like a renaissance season. I think he'll play MVP style, and I think he'll carry, his team to like 7 seed basically. That's I'm not telling you he's going to carry his team to like, a top thing without Klay, but I think, he'll do good.
I just also want to make it clear. I think they'll finish like at 500. So that's 41. That would be 36 wins, or like it would be like 35 and 37, so slightly under 500.
Yeah.
Given the other teams in the West, like that's still pretty good. Like if they were in the East, it'd be a different story. Even if better, like I still think like Golden State's better than Indiana, for example.
I guess I just don't think it's inconceivable that that they'll be close to like what Portland is. I'm not, that's just like me thinking Steph is really good.
But
so you went under, Shadar. I went over.
And I took over as well.
So we went over. Brad Wanamaker, man, that's the guy.
Can't sleep on Wanamaker.
I mean, he's solid.
He is.
But to be clear, so last year, Steph Curry, in 5 games last year, a very small sample size, he shot 25% from 3.
5 games, man.
That's 5 games.
I'm just saying, that's not good.
He just was coming back off a serious injury.
Steph was not coming off a serious injury. Like, he got injured, but
that also hurts part of it, right? Because we played like what 3 games before the injury and then 2 games after, something like that. So like,
but he also shot he shot 100% from the free throw line. So I mean, give and take. You know what I mean?
I honestly think he's going to average 30 a game this year.
He's gonna have to.
And I think
There's gonna be no offense.
like garbage stats. I think he's like going to make them.
So that's a second MVP season. You go up to 30 points a game. Like I don't think he's that was 5 years ago.
If he pulls them to like a 4 seed, I think he wins MVP.
I don't see that happening. I can't think of a way that could happen.
I think it's possible. I mean, he's really good, man.
I understand he's really good,
He's the
but
top 5 player in the league. I think people are forgetting that.
that means if you're getting if he's getting up to 4 seed, that means that he's jumping like based off of what we have. He's jumping the Mavericks, Jazz, and Blazers, and Suns.
I could see a world where it's conceivable. I'm not doubting Steph Curry is what I'm saying.
I guess call me a hater. I don't know.
Why you gotta hate?
Also, maybe Draymond.
Dude just came out with a new clothing line and everything.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. It's because I'm not wearing my Under Armour hoodie today. That's pretty much it. That's the reason.
All right.
Is he going to break the record on threes?
He might have to.
Yeah.
Like, given what you guys are saying, like he might have to.
I think he
Yeah.
is. I think he's gonna shatter the record. It's gonna be
So the record is him. That was he took 11.7 3-pointers per game. What was it? Totals. I think he set the record. He took 810 in 1 year. He took 886 in his second MVP year.
Yeah.
That's a lot, guys.
It is. But now he doesn't have Clay there shooting, so.
True.
So he's just gonna take all the threes.
I mean, like pretty much, like.
That's the other thing. I don't think of Steve Kerr's offense to be like, yeah, we're just gonna get Steph the ball at all points in time and just have him shoot. That's just not gonna work.
Well, he might have to transition to that if he wants to make
If he wants to give Steph that third MVP.
Well, if he wants to make the playoffs, they're gonna have to play a different way. That's just sort of a fact.
Okay.
I think Oubre is going to be good too. Like I know he's not Clay. He's a pretty good player. Like no one replaces Clay Thompson, but he'll give you 15 points a game, good defense, hit a couple of corner threes.
Yeah, I'm just saying that he'll get like 35 wins instead of 36 wins. 36 instead of getting 37 wins, I think he'll get 35 or 36 wins. It'll be slightly under, but it's an under.
Yeah, I guess I'm just higher on them than you are.
I mean, you're saying Steph is going to be MVP, so you're definitely way higher. You're higher than them on me. Like if he wins MVP, like yeah, if he gets the top 4 seed, he's going to get my MVP vote.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to happen. Like,
yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
He has like the best chance for a good narrative, and I think it's possible. I mean, you gave a good argument for why the Lakers might not win as many games, right? So who knows? I mean, he's well rested. So is Draymond. So is
well rested for Draymond could just mean like he just got lazy or something.
No, Draymond's never going to get lazy.
No.
Draymond's going to look a lot better this year now that Steph's there because there's actually like an all-star on the court.
There's not.
Yeah.
An all-star that knows how to use them.
But at the same time, what's their starting 5? It's Steph, Draymond, Oubre, Wiggins, and.
Do you put Pascal in there?
No.
Or is he more of a bench guy?
I put Looney at center.
Okay, so you got Looney, right? So if you're getting you just double Steph the entire game.
Well, that's a good point.
Because it's not like Draymond, if you try to get a short roll with Draymond, I don't know why that was so hard to say. Right? Where's he gonna pass? Who's he gonna pass to? Looney?
No, I get that, but I don't think it's hard to guard Steph because he plays so well off the ball that if you can make Looney, Marquise Chris, Wiseman into great screeners, that really does a lot for the offense. You get basically Draymond at the top of the key. He's a pretty good orchestrator. If you get coming off these down screens coming off onto the elbow 3 basically, give it to him.
I have a way to make a
shot. If not, I guess this is the problem is that if not, you basically swing it over to the other side and it's like right wing Andrew Wiggins take a jump shot, which that's the problem because that used to be KD.
All I'm saying is the way you solve it is you just do Bronson Wood.
What? Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, if you can play box one like Toronto did on them,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
like, what
true.
are they gonna do against a box one? Which I mean, it's kind of sad, but yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do.
I just, I feel like it would surprise me if, they really, other teams committed to that kind of defense in the regular season. I think that's the kind of thing you have to like game plan a little bit for. But you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, they could. I mean, I mean, yeah, I guess this is like going back to the Three Davison days, right?
And just have them just like, so like
True.
if they play the Lakers, I think Lakers easily will win. If they play the Clippers, I think they'll like do a pretty good job as well.
Yeah, I'm not saying they have a chance
Right.
in playoffs.
Like I don't see good matchups for the Warriors against any of the teams left. Like any of the teams that are above them in terms of over unders. I don't see any good matchups for them.
Well, they could beat
Yeah, no.
the Suns, the Blazers, the Utah Jazz.
I mean, they could beat any of these teams. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I don't see a good matchup for them.
No, there's not one that's like that fits well for them. No,
Like,
every matchup would be very competitive, and it may
Well,
not even win.
I don't know how good Wiseman is either. Maybe he's really good.
I'm intrigued by Wiseman.
Or maybe he's just a rookie big.
Yeah,
True.
He played like what, like 3 games or something at Memphis?
2 or 3 games.
True, but
And then he was like, "Nah, I'm out. I gotta."
Think about it. Like over the past calendar year, he's played 3 college basketball games.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean we'll see what happens with him.
And he was at Memphis too. It's not like the Kyrie Irving rookie of the year when, but hey, all right. Next team is the Pelicans.
Pelicans.
They're at the same win total, same over under as the
Pelicans.
Warriors. I'm gonna take over on them. I think Zion's gonna be better. Like he's gonna be better than he was in the bubble.
Sure.
I hope he is.
They're also, defensively they're definitely gonna get worse because they don't have Favors anymore, right? I think that's just gonna help them way more offensively. They're just gonna go. What?
That's Steven Adams.
There's Steven.
I think going from Favors to Adams is a downgrade. Adams is on the downswing
Wow.
right now. He's definitely gotten beaten up a lot. That's all I'm gonna say.
I like
I think
Jackson Hayes too. I mean, they have young upside players: Jackson Hayes, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart.
Yeah.
So with Stan Van Gundy, my thing, what I'm thinking they're gonna do is gonna be like, okay, we're just gonna run. We're just gonna go and run. Everyone is young. We're just gonna go get the ball and go as fast as possible.
And everyone on that team can play that way, basically, maybe with the exception of Adams, but he'll be fine. He'll outlet it or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
Adams gets the ball, inbounds it to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball just chucks it. Boom. Easy 2 points.
Lonzo's getting pretty good, man. Like, I mean, look, he's never gonna.
No, I'm saying.
But
What I'm saying is Lonzo goes 3/4 of the court, just passes it to someone, whether it be Zion or Brandon Ingram, whoever.
yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go over too. I went over on too many teams now. I forgot how good the Pelicans were gonna be. I think they're gonna be good.
I'm gonna go over, but like not super duper over.
I mean, like losing Holiday is definitely tough, but I feel like
I feel like with Lonzo though, Lonzo just needs to facilitate, and that's all you really want him to do. You don't you lose another scorer, but I mean, with this team, their makeup seems like you'd prefer to have someone that's more of a facilitator than a scorer running the point.
I mean, plus I think the improvement of the young guys will kind of make up for the loss, and
Yeah,
Bledsoe's not trash. He's not as good as Drew Holiday, but he's okay. And I mean, I think it was a good trade for them getting the draft picks.
true.
Yeah, you can get with Bledsoe and Redick, you have competent veterans, offensively speaking, right?
Yeah, and you have Adams, and you have Josh Hart is a young veteran in a way. So
Brandon Ingram has been in the league longer than Josh Hart.
that's true. Brandon Ingram looked pretty good last year, and I think he'll.
He did.
So I mean,
He was a stud.
I think Brandon Ingram and Zion will both be all-stars. Definitely
Hmm.
that's
Zion.
gonna be that's not even a question in my mind. He's gonna be an all-star.
Who?
If there's like
Yeah.
any voting involved whatsoever, like Zion's an all-star.
Zion's an all-star. Ingram, I think, has a pretty good chance of making it.
Yeah.
So next is Houston Rockets. They're at over-under is 34.5, which would be like a 39-win team. And I'm gonna very easily take the under because
Yeah.
I think James Harden is on.
Yeah, no, I was gonna take the under because I'm like just with everything we heard today, like coming out about Harden, like all the trade rumors kind of picked up a little more. So it's just like I'm more convinced he's gonna be gone. So
Yeah.
Especially because like let's say they got Ben Simmons in that trade, right? The perfect thing for Ben Simmons would be to get shooting. I don't know where the shooting is on this team.
no, there is no shooting.
Eric Gordon and PJ Tucker, but they might not be in the they might be in the trade themselves.
Like at that point, you might as well like you're gonna trade PJ Tucker. You got a first-round pick back.
Yeah.
You're gonna have.
Yeah,
You got to get draft picks. You just gave up a bunch of your draft picks, so you have to
Yeah.
get them back.
If they trade Harden, for example, I feel like the first thing the Celtics are gonna do is like, yo, get us PJ Tucker real quick, man.
right.
Oh yeah, I love
But-
PJ Tucker. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like, and also like if you get Ben Simmons, how's that going to work with John Wall?
Right? It's just
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking
That's
too. Because
confusing.
like the whole thing that we complained about with like Philly last year with Ben is like there's no shooters for him to pass to, but then you send him here, like what the hell?
You got like a real mess. You got a real mess of a situation. You got John Wall, Boogie Cousins, and Ben Simmons on the same team.
Like if I'm Philadelphia, if I'm in Houston, I'm like no, give me Embiid instead.
Oh, wow.
That's
like-
not gonna work, man.
No, but like still either way, like Ben Simmons going there just doesn't fit.
Ben Simmons.
No, but
is
like, why you play like
Yeah.
your goal at that point is not like you don't care about fit anymore. Like the only thing that you care about in Houston is like you're gonna rehab John. You want to rehab John Wall's image,
treat it.
and you hope that like Boogie Cousins like can get you something. That's it.
Just trade them both somewhere.
Do a package.
The
deal.
question is like, where are you gonna trade John Wall? You can't trade him anywhere.
No, that contract will not
yeah.
let that happen.
Maybe you can trade him for Kemba Walker if Kemba Walker's done.
I mean,
Well-
you need to first rehab John Wall's value. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, you're right. John Wall's looked good. That's all I'm gonna say. John Wall looks explosive.
Look, man, if you haven't played basketball in 2 years, I hope you look good.
I mean, sure, fair, but they're I like John Wall. That's all I'm saying. They're gonna be bad. We all went under. We all are predicting Harden is gone, and whatever they get for him will be kind of messed up roster. Irrespective of who they trade him to. Like if they trade him even to like,
Yeah.
Brooklyn, they're gonna get back stuff that's like confusing still.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's
Or
gonna
if
be
they
a
trade
bad
him to
season. It's gonna be a bad
If you
season.
trade him to Miami, like
Miami's the only one that kind of makes sense.
but even then, you're still gonna get some weird stuff.
Yeah, but like at least it's a little bit easier to work with because mainly you're gonna get back from Miami just a bunch of their shooters, whether it's like Hero and Robinson or one of the two, and then
If only they can
maybe
get
Kelly.
like Simmons and
so like you at least get offense.
yeah,
Oh, if they could get Simmons and Hero, that'd be fun.
yeah. Basically, yeah. James
You know,
Harden is a quitter, is what I'm trying to say.
he is a thick quitter. If you got Pudgy.
That was Rick
Right.
Ross.
I get-
That wasn't James Harden.
I mean, Thick Ross, right?
Thick Ross.
I like it.
Like, I just don't know, like where Harden is going to go and where it's going to be good for him. I really don't know. I don't think Brooklyn would be a good fit. Philly's probably the best one, and I just feel like that would kind of be a disaster too with Embiid.
As I've said, I really want him to go to Miami just to see like how heat culture works with James Harden.
And that's probably the
Yeah.
best case, yeah, for him.
I mean, maybe it is, or maybe it's the worst case
You know,
because I don't know if you heard, Florida doesn't care about this COVID. I don't know if you heard, Miami got some real good clubs.
and
And I don't know if you heard,
about COVID.
but James Harden doesn't do too good when he plays in Miami to begin with because they got some nice clubs.
I mean, if you have Harden, Butler, and Adebayo, that's like probably like the best team in the East by far. But like, what's the chemistry gonna be like?
Yeah.
I just don't. I think James Harden's overrated, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I know he's probably the best scorer in the league since Kobe/Jordan.
What does overrated mean? That's the real question.
I don't think he's a leader. I don't think he's gonna get excellent playoff success if he keeps this attitude slash, style. That's what I'm saying.
Is he a top 10 player in the NBA?
Who, Harden?
Yeah.
In terms of talent, yeah, I think he's probably top
Yeah, I mean,
5 or top 8. But in terms of like, am I going to win a championship with James Harden as my best player? I really just have little faith.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, who are the guys you take ahead of James Harden as your number one player?
LeBron, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, Damian. I would even take Damian Lillard above him. There's more. I mean, there's Giannis.
You're 5.
I would take Jokic over him.
6.
I would take Kawhi Leonard. I would take Jimmy Butler over him. There's more. I mean, I'd take Tatum over him. Well, no, I wouldn't take Tatum over him. That was bad. That was too far. I went too far. I was feeling myself.
Kevin Durant, you forgot him.
I take Doncic, Kevin Durant.
Okay, so he's like 11th best player right now, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, that's still really good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, you're right. But
I'm just saying we have to make sure we put some context into this, right? Like, saying that James Harden's overrated is like, okay, he's not like top 5, but he's probably like top 10.
No, he's a top 10 NBA player, and I think he's a top 5 talent. Like, incredible scorer. Like, you can't discredit being that elite of a scorer. Like, I don't care if it's free throws. I don't care if it's step back threes. I don't care if they look like garbage shots. Like, that is an unbelievable skill set and arsenal, like, offensively. Never seen anything like him. I just don't trust, like, that system, that style. Like, how is that ever going to win?
But I like, if he gets traded to, like, Miami, for example, or if he gets traded to Philly,
Yeah, but if he
like,
plays
I'm pretty sure they're not going to
Miami, I don't think he's going to win. I don't think it would work anyway.
No, what I'm saying is, like, they're not going to play his style. They're going to make him play actual basketball.
But will he be happy?
Yeah.
Right? Because, I mean, okay, he doesn't really have a choice, right?
No, because
he got traded.
This is what he wanted.
Yeah, but if
like, he got traded, he wanted out.
But if he doesn't play that way, I mean, is he going to set screens? Is he going to, like, play off the ball properly? Or is he going to do the same thing he did with Chris Paul, and he's just going to stand there, not cross half court?
I'll put it like this, right? If he gets traded to somewhere else, right, he would be like, in his mind, like, it would be very weird for him to leave a place where he can do whatever he wanted, right? He can get away with whatever he wanted to do. And he wants to leave that place to go somewhere else. And if he still does the same thing, what difference does it make if he's in Houston or, like, Philly or wherever, right? Like, he has to change. Otherwise, he's just, like, way stupider than we thought he was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not holding my breath on him changing because I've seen, basically 5 playoffs in a row, maybe more, where I'm just like, please don't take this shot. This is not a good shot. Don't play this way anymore. And he just keeps going. He just doubles down on it. 2018 was like the antithesis of that. It was just, come on, man. Like, why are you doing this? Like, go to the basket.
He's tired. He's carrying the team, man.
Yes.
Well, maybe if you're, on time to practice and you try to work out like Kobe, you'll have some energy at the end of the game. And if you trust your teammates and you don't play isolation like more than anyone's ever played in, like, the NBA ever, like, come on. I just, it's not surprising to me that Chris Paul, like, probably hated himself playing with James Harden, and probably Russell Westbrook too.
I mean, Russell Westbrook is a creature of habit. Like, if he says, like, you gotta be on time, you gotta be on time.
Exactly.
Yeah, and, like, at least with Westbrook, even though he shoots way too much and, like, does boneheaded stuff, at least he's,
he's trying.
He's trying. He's giving you maximum effort constantly, and he'll do whatever, man.
Yeah.
Like, he won't complain that much. I mean, I feel like, and teammates love Westbrook.
I mean,
yeah. No, he just gets a bad rap, but it's like, dude actually works really hard.
I don't think people like playing with James Harden.
No.
The other thing is that I think the other thing is Russell Westbrook does like a bare minimum of, hey, we want to be on time. Let's be on time, guys.
Yeah.
I think people appreciate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even in a regular working place, like you guys can, attest to this. If someone's just constantly not on time for like, things for your working group or your groups that you're, doing projects and stuff if you're in school, that just pisses you off to no end because it's like you have no value of my time and you just think I'm useless and like worthless. And so that your time is just so much more valuable. And so like,
Yeah.
obviously if you're the star, that's actually true. Like you are worth more and you're more valuable than them, right? But like you can't have your teammates feel that way because then it just destroys chemistry and no one wants to play with you and you're never going to maximize your talent. And that is like the problem with James Harden and the way that he goes about the game. No one wants to just stand there watching this guy dribble for like 23 seconds and then he's either taking a step back three or it's like, you better shoot this ball. Like, that's your only choice, It's hard to play with that.
Because there's no rhythm in the offense.
Absolutely. Like I've played with people like that. Yeah, I've played with people like that in intramurals. Like, we'll have a guy who's basically like the James Harden of our team, and like it's really tough to play with that. Like I'm not saying I'm a great shooter, but I consider myself, pretty good as like a catch and shoot guy. And like there were seasons where I made no threes and I would take a good amount of them because I would get the ball and it was like I had no choice but to shoot.
Yeah.
Like you're all confused, like you're stressed, you're nervous, like you have no freedom of the game anymore. So you can't play, effectively. You're just in your head now.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I think it's hard to play that way. So I guess you're right. If he goes somewhere else, he has to change. I just don't think he will.
No.
I mean, whether or not you're right, whether or not he does or not is a different issue. But like, if he goes in, he's like, I expect to play the same way. Like, he's like way dumber than I thought.
Well, a lot of players are that way when they have that much success. Like, look at Allen Iverson, MVP. One of the greatest scorers ever. Obviously he was like an icon for that style of basketball at that time, and played that way. And maybe the advanced stats don't really back up, the way he was playing now. But like that time, the people played like that, and he didn't want to change because it's like, what kind of like comes off the bench? What kind of MVP plays like this way?
Right, but I'm pretty sure like with Iverson, like in the situation of Iverson, I don't think like he had the a la carte situation that James Harden did. Like I don't think it was like in the situation of Allen Iverson had final say over all the entire roster.
But I think the partying is similar.
What?
The partying and the not being on time stuff is kind of similar.
Sure, but I'm saying like it's not like he's like, oh, I want this guy fired. I want to have this guy traded. I want this guy traded. Like I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case for. Like,
and I think Iverson was probably a better leader in some ways, despite the, off the court antics, because like his teammates loved him because he would just go hard.
Yeah, not. It's not like you hear that about James Harden. You don't hear the reference for James Harden that you do for Iverson. The way you hear the reference for James Harden is like, yo, this dude can get buckets, but it's not like, yo, that dude is the dude.
Yeah.
I can't remember a teammate loving this guy, and like I've seen so many clips of him like getting mad at teammates for him not like getting a rebound, and I'm like, you just want a triple double that bad? Like, come on, man. Like if you weren't this good, we'd be clowning at you constantly. Like we'd be like, yo, you're JaVale McGee.
Exactly. That's true.
So you can't say that about him. That's my take on James Harden.
So, all right, I think we spent too much time on the Rockets.
I don't like James Harden, man. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay. I mean, the next team is the Memphis Grizzlies.
Oh.
They're at 30.5 wins over under. So that's like a 35 win team, 34.5 win team, something like that. That'd be the same over under if it were 82 game season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the over, but again, it's gonna be like a slight over, 31, maybe 32 wins or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, which in some not in some sense, it's definitely a regression for them because I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs, or at least get the play-in game. Part of that is like I think, like you see this with teams all the time. It's like you make that big leap in 1 year, and then after that you come back to earth a little bit, and then after the year after that is when you actually get good, right?
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, we saw that happen with Sacramento, for example. Sacramento made like some sort of leap, and you thought, oh, maybe they have a chance, and then no, it didn't work out,
No.
right? So I think the same
Yeah.
thing's gonna happen to the Grizzlies, even though John Morant's gonna be good. Jaren Jackson apparently grew in height.
Oh,
How?
He'd be good. I mean, he's like 21 or something, right?
yeah, they grow.
Yeah.
They have
So,
Grayson Allen.
but I remember he was also coming off an injury,
Yeah.
right? Then you also have Justice Winslow coming off an injury. Brandon Clark is good, but then outside of that, like maybe you have Dylan Brooks, but I don't know.
No, I'm gonna take the under on them.
And a lot
But,
of the time that they were good last year, like it was with Jake Crowder. Jake Crowder obviously got traded,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I don't really see like how good they're gonna be.
No. Like you said, Ja's gonna be good, but like after that, like I mean, and Jackson too, but like I don't trust those two to be like, we're gonna carry these guys, we're gonna carry the team to the playoffs. I don't think they're that good yet, and the West is just too good.
Yeah, I guess I'm going over just because I think Houston's going to be so bad that like this is the next team in line that'll get some wins. But yeah, I think it's going to be tough because I think Pelicans, Suns, Warriors are all like, better than them. And so even though they were kind of in competition for that 8th spot last year,
Yeah.
I think they're going to sort of regress just because some other teams got better. And kind of like Shadar said, it might be next year until they really, take the
Figure it out. Yeah.
The other thing,
Metric.
with Jaren Jackson is like in his first 2 seasons, he hasn't really been able to finish the season.
No.
He played 58 games. Last year he got hurt. Around the end of the season, and he got hurt right around when the lockdown started, or he was hurt during that time as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So overall,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't expect to see full health from them. So that's what I'm taking under.
Yeah, I mean,
the next team is-
they'll be okay.
I mean, they'll be fine. Like it'll be like 29 wins. Actually, no, I didn't say over, right? I said over, but
I'm taking under. I just
Oh,
don't trust.
I went over too, but I went like barely over. Like it's like
it's like 31 wins.
it's like they're gonna be over this prediction, but they're like not gonna be. I don't think they'll really even be. They'll be like the 10 seed or maybe even lower, 10 seed. Yeah,
Yeah.
like at best it'd be like a 10 seed.
that's what I mean. Like they'll be in that play-in game, but they're not gonna be as good as they were standing wise last year. Even though it's not really like they got worse, they're just kind of like the same and maybe slightly improved with Ja as Ja gets better.
Yeah.
Right. Next team's San Antonio. They're at 29.5 wins,
Tough times for
Everybody.
Bob.
and
Right.
I'm gonna take the under as well. They
Yeah.
not get any better.
Yeah, I agree.
No.
Their competition got better.
Yeah.
Did they even add anything? I don't even think they really added
Didn't think
anything.
anything of value.
No.
So yeah, so I mean, like they might be the most boring team in the NBA. If we're gonna be
That's-
honest.
That's very true.
It's sad to say, but
Well, I mean, the nice thing is, DeJounte Murray is going to keep developing. Lonnie Walker is, I guess, in theory, maybe could be a 3-and-D player, right?
like Lonnie Walker in theory is very interesting. Keldon Johnson is pretty interesting. Jakob Poeltl is, I guess, like semi-interesting. Then you have
Yeah.
DeMar DeRozan and Marcus Aldridge, who are like Marcus Aldridge might be like the most boring like star player in the NBA. DeMar DeRozan, like, he's good, no doubt, he's good. He's got that mid-range game down, but like, how good is that going to be in the
So,
Western?
are Aldridge and DeRozan both expiring?
What?
Who's expiring on their team? There's no one.
Uh,
Like I guess of Aldridge, DeRozan, Gay, I don't really know what their situation is, but I think if they are expiring, any of them, I think the Spurs have to just trade them to see if they can get some kind of asset or a young player, because they're not really going to help them win,
No.
But I remember DeMar DeRozan is expiring, right?
Yeah, I mean if you can find a way to trade him, I don't know
So-
who wants him, but
But I'm trying to see like future salary cap stuff. But yeah,
think people
DeMar
would-
DeRozan, as far as I remember, he's
People would want LaMarcus Aldridge.
yeah. So I mean, DeMar and LaMarcus Aldridge are going to be free agents as well, most likely. And Rudy Gay will be a free agent. So, like, it'll be next year. That'll become interesting. It'll be interesting because they can really reshape their team. But this year, not so much. They're kind of stuck in purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess
Pop is good. I just don't see them winning that many games. Like, they'd be the equivalent of a 34-win team. Like, I would think of them if they were going to play in a regular, actual NBA season right now. I think it would be like a 32-win team,
yeah,
which would be an under.
yeah, I think it's going to be tough for them.
So is everyone taking under on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Next is the Sacramento Kings.
Oh boy.
Their over-under is 27.5 wins.
Oh.
Right. That's the equivalent of a 31-win team.
Uh,
So they got my guy De'Aaron Fox. Okay, I'm a Fox stan,
true.
but I don't know who. Like, then they got Tyrese Halliburton, but again, like, I don't know how much that matters if you got a rookie as like the next bright spot on your team.
Yeah.
It's nice to get them with Field, and then you get like hopefully Marvin Bagley is actually healthy. Like that would be an interesting squad, but I don't trust Marvin Bagley to be healthy. I don't really trust Buddy Hield to be back to 2 years ago how good he was.
Well, I mean, they got rid of Bogdan.
Yeah,
I mean, Buddy gets more, more of a role, more playing time, more shots.
he gets
Yeah.
shots, but like at the same time, like the one thing that they needed him for, like they were using him was like they lose a ball handler.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield's not a ball handler, right?
Yeah.
Like I can only think of like their ball handling situation is De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton.
They have Corey Joseph.
Halliburton, one of your like, you don't want to make him one of your ball handlers, right? Just because he's a rookie.
What about Corey Joseph?
I mean, okay, like if you're like Corey Joseph is like my guy at that point, like I think you got big problems to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
No offense to Corey Joseph, man, but
Glenn Robinson, pretty good. Jabari Parker, Hassan Whiteside.
yeah, no,
You don't like Hassan Whiteside's body language?
I do not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw him last year, and he was in Portland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shots where he would
I
like
mean,
catch
Portland was
it.
playing a lot of games with Hassan Whiteside, and they're still pretty good.
He'd catch it at 10 feet or something in the key, and he would just throw up a shot, and it would be so off, and I was just like, this guy doesn't even care. Like he's just like, whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like De'Aaron Fox.
Like that being said, I think they could get 32 wins out of this roster.
I think so too.
Like I think they're the same as the San Antonio Spurs. So I think I'll take the over on them and the under on the Spurs. And we'll call it a day.
I'm going.
Yeah. No, that seems fair.
I'm going the same way as you.
Yeah. They just have the Kings have a little more intriguing pieces, but like not really super duper intriguing. Like just like I can justify the Kings roster to be maybe like, okay, maybe they'll do a little bit something rather than the Spurs, where like we said, they're probably the most boring team.
They have
Like I don't like for the Spurs, I don't see where they could pop. The Kings, I can see them pop, but I don't think it's likely that they'll pop.
No, not at all. But like, if you really convinced me, then like I'm like, okay, maybe I can buy that. But like,
I think there's probably a universe where the Spurs become the 9 seed. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think there's any universe where the Kings become the 9 seed, but I think most universes would have the Kings being a game better than the Spurs. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Does that make
It's
sense?
very weird. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're
You
saying.
get what I'm saying. It's if I do the simulation 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, Kings are gonna have one game better than the Spurs. 1 out of 10 times, if things just work out, LaMarcus is throwback, DeMar somehow becomes better, and
The Spurs are in the playoffs.
they're
In that
they're
time,
top. Yeah,
Spurs are in the playoffs. And the Kings are in.
right.
yeah,
Kings, it's if they maximize everything, they'll be pretty good, but not. I don't see it.
Yeah.
All right. Next team is the Timberwolves. Their over-under is sandwiched between the Spurs and the Kings. I think they're the best out of these three teams.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They're the
give them an
best?
over.
I think they're the best of the three because they have the best player out of the three teams.
Well, sure, but I mean, I don't know who's their
Like
coach?
Karl Anthony Towns is like he's possibly a 50, 40, 90 guy as a big guy, as a
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll give him an over.
Well, they got Ricky Rubio back.
but again, giving
Actually, will I give him an over? Hold on, let me take a.
them an over, they're at 28.5 wins. Like if they got I could see them like that's equivalent of a 32 win season. I could see them getting like 34 wins for an 82 game season.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that.
Yeah,
Right?
you know what? I'm gonna go with you. I think
So by definition,
I like to trash the Wolves because they, after Jimmy Butler just sunned all of them and destroyed them with third stringers, I'm just like, these guys are trash. But I mean, you have Russell, you have Pat, you have Anthony Edwards, you have Ricky Rubio, Malik Beasley, you got Josh Okogie, Ed Davis, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson. I mean, you have a solid, set of guys.
are you just read the roster?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think every team necessarily has that many solid rotational players. And like you're saying, Cat is an all-star, and D'Angelo Russell is a fringe all-star in the East, even though he's in the West. It's still pretty good. That's
He's a functional. He's a functional ball handler.
Yeah, and he's a great three-point shooter. He's a great shooter. Really good. I think.
Plus, having Rubio is another. You can have Russell play more off ball.
Yeah.
Which would be very interesting because you have Rubio there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then, I saw a highlight today. Anthony Edwards actually tried it. He could actually stop Luka Doncic on at least one play.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
If Anthony Edwards can bring an element of defense to that team, that's very good.
Right.
Oh, that'll be good for them. Yeah. I mean, my thing is their two best players are, I think, bad defenders. But I guess Rubio and Edwards are good defenders. And, maybe some of their bench guys.
But at least in the defensive cat.
Yeah.
I'm saying is at least in defensive cat, he's a monster offensively. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue he's the best, scoring type of big person given, his range. And he's a really good shooter for a big guy. I think he's the best shooting big man. I think he's a little soft in the post, personally, but.
He's 50, 40, 90.
They were, was it 2019 or 2018? What was the year? 2018 when they were really close to the playoffs? They made the playoffs in 2018.
Yes.
I think they did.
Oh, he was not 50, 40, 90. He was 50, 40, 80.
Oh.
They did have Jimmy Butler then, so that's obviously
True.
the situation. I'll go over like you. I think they're going to be pretty okay. They'll be competent this year.
Yeah.
In 18-19, Karl Anthony Towns was 50% from the field, exactly 40% from the 40% from three, and he was 84% from the line.
Dude,
Last year he was 50% from the field. He was 51% from the field, 41% from three, and then 79.6% from the line.
Yeah.
So he's 50, 40, 80 as a big.
I think he's the best shooting big. He's a really good shooter.
Yeah.
If he gets a little bit stronger, I guess if he just plays a little bit more like a big guy, I'd be more impressed, right? But if it's not his game, it's not his game. He scores a lot. He still rebounds.
Yeah.
It's just defense. That's the thing for me. Are they really ever going to be a good defensive team, even if they have
No.
if they have a good defender here and there? I don't think it makes them a good defensive team. And I don't know. I don't know if Ryan Saunders I still think of him as an inexperienced coach, and I don't know if he'll get better, but I don't think they're going to be making a playoff run, but they'll be better than their win production, I think.
Yeah, they're going to be better win projection wise, but they're just not going to be very good.
I agree.
Same.
Get some.
But they're not going to be as bad as the next team, the final
Oh.
team, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's the worst team in the league.
Their over-under is 22.5 wins.
Oh.
That's equivalent to a 26-win team.
Oh.
And I will very easily take the under on that.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
I know we wrote them off last year, but they also had Chris Paul. They don't have Chris Paul anymore.
They lost Steven Adams too. They lost they're on tank mode basically is what you see.
Yeah. But they're gonna be all set though for the future though with all those picks they got.
They have like 100 draft picks.
Yeah. So they're gonna be all set.
They can draft 2 teams. They can have 2 teams in like 5 years.
Like this team is just so weird as well because their best player is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but they also have George Hill and they have Trevor Ariza
And Al Horford.
and Al Horford, right?
Don't sleep on Horf.
So they have three like legit vets who've been around a long time,
Yeah.
but they also have like a bunch of really young guys. Like I'm on the Basketball Reference page right now. I see it's like so many experience of 1, 3, R2. Like these guys are under like rookie deals. So many of them.
Oh boy.
And then you throw in the George Hill. You
Yeah.
got the Trevor Ariza, like I said. You got the Al Horford. And then you also have like Mike Muscala.
I mean, Al
Ew.
Horford
This
is
is
the
like
second
everyone's
best player, right? Is that what I'm reading this correctly?
Muscala is the second best player?
No, Al Horford is your second best player.
Oh, that's not
No,
ideal.
I would say George Hill is their second best player.
That's a problem.
That is a major problem.
Especially because I'm pretty sure they're going to trade their second best player, their third best player, and their fourth best player. I think that's their plan.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be a good season for them. I think they're going to, I don't think they're going to even win 20 games out of 72.
I mean, that's definitely the under right there.
So, yeah, I guess Sam Presti's happy, so that's all that matters. That's all I can say for them.
Yeah.
All right, so we completed the
We completed.
over-under.
All I'm going to say is, based off of this chart,
I'm loving the Western
we had
Conference.
we had the same thoughts for 5 of the last 6 teams.
We're just loving the Western Conference.
We had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 out of 16 agreed with.
15, but yeah, that's 2/3. We got 2/3.
That's a lot. Wow.
The Western Conference.
We
The
agreed.
Western Conference is just, I feel like it's easier.
Yeah, it's
Like,
one
we
easier-
also think like a lot of these teams are really good.
Yeah,
Like we're all pretty high on a lot of the teams in the West.
Right.
Whereas the East is kind of like, we're kind of iffy.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these teams, like, I think the Timberwolves are better than like the Magic, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing. It's like
No, I can see that. I think the Kings are better than the Magic, but
yeah, like the bottom. It's like a lot of the bottom teams minus the Thunder in the West. I'm just like like I think they would be like probably like between 8 and 10 in the East, like pretty easily, maybe even better. Like
yeah, it's like the thing is like the top end of the East can compete with the top end of the West.
Yeah.
But the bottom end of the West is much better than the bottom end of the East.
yeah, I agree. There's just a lot of talent throughout the entire Western Conference. Just like a lot of all-star players on sort of not contending teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the Lakers make it out. Basically, is my prediction.
Oh yeah,
And I think
as
we
a
all
favorite in the West, yeah, they're gonna make it out. I'm pretty sure they're the favorite to win the championship as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
As much as it pains us to say it, man, like it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I think it's whoever they meet is just going to get spanked around. I mean, maybe if Miami gets Harden, it'll be really competitive series. And
Yeah.
maybe they would win. I don't know, but I
But, I mean-
can't predict that. So
If you have like, according to ESPN, if you have the 2 best players in basketball on the same team, it's pretty hard to beat that.
like,
True.
I mean, frankly, I think I think like the Lakers, even if they played like Harden on Heat or Harden on Brooklyn without big pieces being given up, like the All-Stars being given up, I still think the Lakers like would win in 7 or 6.
Yeah.
Brooklyn would be real interesting, but yeah, like that's the one where it'd be like actually close. But
Sure, but I'm also just like I don't think the fit would be very good, and then I don't think Harden would really get maximized, and or Kyrie would be like a sourpuss or whatever, and then like that's just that's easy.
I agree.
Kyrie will be like, I'm gonna guard LeBron. I'm gonna post
Yeah.
LeBron. You know, like that's not gonna work out.
No.
And I think Brooklyn has some question marks in terms of, like you said yesterday, Trudar, how good is KD going to be on defense? What's the defensive capability of that team?
Yeah.
We'll see on that end. I mean, they have size, but I think Milwaukee would give
Like, what we know about the
Lakers a good
Lakers.
run.
I know one thing we know about the Lakers is that they can actually defend.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. They have a lot of versatility.
then-
They lost like some athleticism at the big position, but yeah, they gained some veteran trickiness and just smartness. And Schroeder is a huge upgrade. No
Yeah.
offense to Rondo. I mean, Rondo's great in the playoffs, but just as a scorer, like you basically have a third scorer now.
Yeah.
You didn't really have before.
The only other question I have is like, who do you think is going to play? Who's the other team that could get to the Western Conference Finals?
I'm going Nuggets.
I was gonna say Nuggets. Nuggets could be the sneaky team to do it because I mean, I still don't trust the Clippers to like figure it out in the playoffs, even with Ty Lue there.
And
Yeah.
so that, like, which is kind of crazy to think about, right? Like, if we're to do this thing last year, we'd be like, yeah, sure, it's gonna be Clippers is not be, it's gonna be easy for them, right? And now it's like, after what we've seen, like, yeah, we don't expect them to get there that far,
Right?
which is kind of like,
I just think the point guard situation is too much of something to overcome. I mean, it's not like Kawhi or Paul George can play like LeBron. So it's a different thing for the Lakers when it's – and they also have Schroeder now. But even if they didn't have Schroeder last year, like they also had Rondo. But even if they didn't have Rondo, you have LeBron James.
Yeah.
And, like, that's just not going to work for the Clippers. Like, every team that's really a contending team has, like, a lead guard who's really, really elite. Like, Denver, Boston. I mean, you can even say the same about Miami with Goran Dragic. You can say the same for, I guess now.
you can get Goran Dragic or Jimmy Butler. Like,
What?
you can run an offense through Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, he can play. I think he's more comfortable in that role than Kawhi or Paul George.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the West, right? You said Denver, Dallas, Utah. You can say that about Portland. You can definitely say that about Phoenix. You can say that about Golden State. Like if Golden State's healthy, that's true, right?
Yeah, but even the East, right? Like Kyrie, Kemba. I mean, do you count Drew Holiday as like he's pretty good as a guy?
Yeah.
That's
Kyle
the one
Lowry.
team. Kyle Lowry. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I think. Yeah, I would say that's too much for them to overcome, in my opinion. But I mean, they almost lost to the Mavericks. If Porzingis was healthy, I think the Mavericks would have beat them.
Yes.
Like, and they didn't. I mean, Ibaka helps, but he doesn't solve that problem. He helps defensively, certainly, but
It seems
they're
like the
already
biggest
pretty good defensively.
right? And I don't know how much Ty Lue solves the chemistry problems, or like
Well,
I don't know how.
That's weird. I mean, I feel like they went from like Doc Rivers to like basically like light version of Doc Rivers.
No, but the other thing is like the chemistry problems are like people are tuning out Paul George and Kawhi Leonard doesn't really connect. Like didn't really connect with them, right?
Yeah.
Like how much
Yeah.
do you expect this to change?
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, if they could have like snagged Chris Paul or Rondo, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, it would have been game over. But like, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So that they have to make a trade to me to like make the Western Conference Finals. Otherwise, it's gonna be Denver.
Yeah.
So like, I heard one possible theory is like they trade for Harden, Clippers trade for Harden.
Ooh, Paul George.
I don't yeah I think Paul
Who's
George
gonna
is
trade for Harden? They have no draft picks, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're like, here's a good idea. They trade for Harden. Like I don't understand how this works. I don't know. I have no idea how this would make the situation better.
I mean, if you had Harden and Kawhi, maybe.
Does that really make it a better situation?
I mean, probably not, because you're gonna lose
Uh,
probably like most of the roster somehow.
No, I'm just thinking like from like, do you like the meshing? Like how well do you think the idea of like James Harden and Kawhi Leonard meshing together is gonna happen? Kawhi's gonna sit in his corner, just like hanging out doing his thing, and James Harden's gonna go out to the strip club or something like that. And they come back, they'll play, and then just go away.
Yeah.
Everyone else on the team is like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
Or whatever remains of a team.
Yeah, that wouldn't be wonderful for them. I don't think any team in the West is trading for Harden. I think he's Eastern Conference bound.
Yeah.
Not that like teams in the West wouldn't necessarily want him. I just think, like, I mean, you're not even gonna you're not gonna trade him to Denver. I mean, I think Denver's fine with Murray and whoever else they have. I don't think they want to give up their young guys for that. I don't think Dallas is gonna give up anything.
Like, I don't see how it would make any sense to do that in Dallas.
Right, like Utah, I'd rather have Donovan Mitchell. Portland, I'd rather have Dame Lillard. I mean, it's just like it's not gonna happen.
Golden State was doing like they did their due diligence on this. It's like you put Steph and James Harden on the same team.
Well, that's the
But
one. But you don't have enough to do it. I mean, maybe if you trade Wiseman uh, and draft picks and Wiggins and Wiggins for salary, basically. I guess. I guess that's a thing that like maybe Harden hasn't considered that would probably like make the Warriors really good. But
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. I don't know how that would happen.
I mean, if you were to like keep Clay, then
Yeah.
you're really good.
So like next year's team is like we got Draymond. Like I'm assuming you can't trade Draymond, right? So it's like
Well, I don't think anyone wants to.
Clay, James Harden, and Steph Curry.
Yeah, I mean the package is basically like you're revolving around Wiseman and all the other like young players that the Warriors have, and draft picks, and you're just doing that with Wiggins' salary, and that's it.
Yeah.
And at least then you don't have a weird situation in Houston roster wise. You just have Wall, Wiggins, and Cousins, and Wiseman.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's a little weird still. I mean, that's like the only team in the West that has a chance of trading for him. But I don't mean, yeah, okay, it's still Lakers are going to be the top team, even if that happens this year because there's no Clay. So
Yeah.
we all agree Lakers
True.
win the conference and then Lakers win the finals.
Yeah.
Probably even if Harden gets traded to a team in the East. Well,
Yeah. So we just have to see what happens with Jimmy Harden.
Jimmy Hardy's.
yeah, I guess we'll see. But I guess we're pretty much wrapped up with this over-under list now, and we got our finals predictions and all that. This was a little bit more tame than previous years. I feel like there was not many.
True.
As in terms of like burrito bets, like just
Yeah,
going
there was
crazy.
no like, no way, dude. Detroit's a playoff team. No way.
Wait, was I the one who said that Detroit would be a playoff team and they were
I think
garbage
it
or
was
something?
me, dude.
I think you were. I think there was a year you were super duper high on Detroit.
I don't know. We have to go back to the tape. Watch the tape. Watch the tape, man.
Yes. Watch tape.
Well,
Okay,
I mean, it's cool. I mean, we're close to the season starting. I think 5 days now, so definitely
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit of uncertainty weighing over the season, so we're going to see what happens. We don't really know clue what will happen with COVID. So
True. I mean, I think what they announced today, only one positive test they had, so
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
the fact that they're not going to like anyone could
that's
get
gonna
COVID.
be risky. But I mean, I trust Adam Silver.
I mean, all I'm saying is like if you can go outside and not be in a bubble, they're gonna get games canceled.
Yeah,
yeah,
I know.
there will be
That's
games
not
that will get postponed and canceled, I think, and we'll see. Though, I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe I don't think the NBA players are going to like necessarily get the vaccine earlier than like frontline workers and stuff. But I think they'll probably get it earlier than some people. So maybe at some point in the season.
I mean they'll get it earlier than Gen Pop, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they'll probably be considered like that second wave or second or third wave. So maybe it's like March or April for them, and that's the playoffs.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they got it at the same time as frontline workers because NBA is gonna be like, we'll just pay you a whole bunch of money.
True.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, okay, they'll do what they did in Orlando, right? It's like, oh, we are gonna pay for all the COVID tests, and we're just like we're gonna pay to get all of them. And in addition, we're gonna pay to get everyone else more coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we will have to wait and see what the NBA does.
Yeah.
I just want basketball back.
Well, it's coming back soon, James. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yay.
The what is it? Tuesday night, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Tuesday night. Oh,
Well,
damn.
it'll be there, and hopefully this podcast is correct by the end of the season. But that's usually not the case. So let's see.
Yeah.
All right.
Bro.
I think that's all we have. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll come out with another one eventually. Hopefully, be more regular about this. So
Yes.
yeah, I guess that's it for now. So yeah, peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.